This is Marcus saying goodbye to his best friend before launching a highly chaotic escape from a psychiatric hospital. Not giving up on himself, he just smashes through a window and jacks a random car. Marcus isn't just running away, he's on a mission of love. He is driving across the country to meet his former high school mentor and charity brother, Rudd, whom he's been exchanging heartfelt emails with for years. Now, Marcus's budget for this trip is exactly $0. By nightfall, he's sleeping in the stolen car. And the next morning, he gets fresh by taking a makeshift bath under a golf course sprinkler. Feeling clean and happy, he gets back on the highway, completely unaware of what's coming, as he safely brakes to let two kids cross the road. A massive truck slams directly into him out of nowhere. Cut to our main guy, Rudd Landy. Rudd is a high-powered, prominent New York City real estate agent who built his luxury property empire from the ground up. To the outside world, Rudd has it all. But on the inside, the guy is an absolute nervous wreck. You see, Rudd is completely consumed by a desperate need to look successful, because his big brother Josh lives in the massive billionaire house and always feels overshadowed. To escape being the family disappointment, Rudd has spent his entire life grinding to prove himself. And today is his ultimate judgment day. Rudd is on the verge of being cast in a massive real estate reality TV show. He views this show as his ticket to the big leagues, his one true chance to finally level up, get famous, and prove to his brother that he's a big deal. But while Rudd is stressing about the show, his assistant Mia is having a total panic attack. She's hiding a massive career-ending secret. For years, Rudd's old little brother, Marcus, has been sending emails. Instead of deleting them, Mia replied to over 300 of them, completely pretending to be Rudd. She thought it was a harmless lie. But now, Marcus is on his way, ready to crash Rudd's perfect life at the worst possible moment. Rudd's deep insecurities follow him everywhere, even to a local charity event. Hoping to shine, Rudd gets completely overshadowed when his billionaire brother, Josh, casually drops a $100,000 donation. Once again, Josh steals the spotlight, leaving Rudd looking small and feeling totally invisible. Even at home, Rudd can't escape his brother's shadow. While trying to lecture his two sons, he gets a sudden call from the hospital. His brother has been in an accident. Rudd rushes over, completely confused, only to find Marcus lying in the bed. The memories hit him instantly. This is his old charity brother from high school. Stunned and uncomfortable, Rudd tries to play it cool and immediately leave. But his wife spots Marcus's sad situation and insists they bring him home. Rudd heavily hesitates, but his wife refuses to back down. As soon as they arrive at the house, Rudd drags Marcus straight into the garage before anyone else can see them. He gives him a harsh warning, flashes a bunch of cash, and demands Marcus take the money and vanish forever. They finally head inside, and Marcus tries his best to stick to Rudd's secret exit plan. But Rudd's wife, Deirdre, immediately smells a rat. She catches Rudd trying to smuggle his guest out, overrides his authority, and firmly tells Marcus he is staying right there. In the evening, Rudd was to take Marcus to his room. Up in their room, Rudd complains about bringing a complete stranger into their house before finally falling asleep. But his wife, Deirdre, is wide awake. Hearing a strange noise downstairs, she goes to investigate and finds Marcus watching their old wedding video. Instead of kicking him out, a sleepless Deirdre sits down with Marcus. She opens up, explaining how Rudd is completely obsessed with his work and never makes time for her like he used to. Marcus listens and sweetly advises her to demand more of Rudd's time. The two share a laugh, have a drink, and completely bond over Rudd's flaws. The next morning, Marcus plays the perfect house guest and prepares a massive breakfast for the entire family. Rudd assumes his wife will be joining him for his high-stakes reality TV casting meeting. But she turns him down. She's heading out to her charity program instead. Left with absolutely no other option, a desperate Rudd is forced to pack up and take Marcus with him to the meeting. On the drive over, Marcus brings up his late-night chat with Deirdre. He tells Rudd to stop being so hard on himself and urges him to make more time for his wife. But Rudd isn't trying to hear it. He is completely bored by Marcus's advice and entirely consumed by thoughts of his overshadowed life. Right on cue, his billionaire brother Josh calls to offer some unsolicited reassurance. Josh tells him to stay calm and even offers to pay for a therapist if Rudd needs one. Annoyed but trying to keep his cool, Rudd quickly shuts it down and insists he's doing completely fine. As soon as they reach their destination, Rudd gives Marcus strict orders not to move an inch until he gets back. He then storms inside to confront his assistant, Mia. He demands to know why she spent years replying to Marcus's emails, especially now that the guy is sitting right outside in his car. Mia confesses the truth. To her, Marcus is an amazing listener. In fact, through all those years of secret late-night emailing, it turns out she was actually starting to catch genuine feelings for Marcus. Stuck inside the car, Marcus suddenly gets a desperate urge to urinate. Not wanting to break Rudd's strict rules, he decides to get creative. He accidentally breaks the window mirror, forces his way out, and literally takes off his pants to wipe down his own mess. Meanwhile, inside the audition room, a nervous Rudd is putting on an absolute disaster of a performance. He keeps choking, trying again and again to get his lines right, just as he finally catches his flow and looks confident. The casting cameras catch a glimpse of the absolute madness happening down at Rudd's car. The producers run outside to investigate the chaos. Rudd desperately tries to explain why his half-naked little brother is scrubbing down his vehicle. Everyone just stands there in absolute shock, staring at the chaotic scene and frantically calling for the medics. Marcus is bleeding out right on the pavement. But even while bleeding, Marcus refuses to shut up. He uses his moments of awareness to loudly explain his entire life story to the crowd. He talks about going through 16 different foster families, how he eventually found Rudd, and how the two of them became brothers for life. Back at home that evening, a supportive Deirdre tries to comfort a heavily stressed out Rudd and have a nice, relaxing time together. But Rudd is too angry to cooperate. He completely shuts her down and stormily walks out to his gym room, bitterly complaining that this whole disaster was Marcus's fault. Rudd sneaks into Marcus's room to figure out what his eccentric guest is really hiding while snooping around. He suddenly discovers Marcus's official psychiatric hospital wristband. The truth finally hits him. Marcus didn't just casually travel across the country to see him, he literally escaped from a mental institution. The next morning, Rudd gathers his family to expose Marcus's hospital escape, but right before he can speak, his phone rings. It's the TV producers. Turns out, Marcus's crazy driveway meltdown went viral, and audiences love the brotherly reunion. The producers want them both in the studio immediately. A frustrated Rudd has to change his plan on the fly. He hides the psychiatric band and tells his family they are all going to be reality stars. Rudd and Marcus head to the studio and shoot an absolutely fantastic show together. But behind the smiles, Rudd's deep insecurities are spiraling out of control. The funny and charming Marcus is effortlessly cracking jokes, and everyone on set is instantly falling in love with him. Feeling completely overshadowed once again, a dark thought enters Rudd's mind. Driven by pure jealousy, he begins planning and finding ways to get rid of Marcus for good because he can't stand being second best to his own charity brother. Meanwhile, Mia is doing everything she can to finally catch Marcus's attention. As they chat, Marcus opens up and admits he can feel that Rudd isn't truly happy around him. Wanting to protect her crush, Mia gives him some valuable advice. She tells Marcus to step back and just let Rudd always have the spotlight. The next big reality show shoot takes place right at Josh's luxury house. Everyone arrives in high spirits, ready for the cameras to roll. Sticking to Mia's advice, Marcus steps back to let Rudd shine while he happily sneaks off to chat with Mia. Rudd finally gets his dream moment, confidently soaking up the spotlight. But the peace doesn't last. The moment Josh spots Marcus, he forces him over to their table. Just by existing, Marcus effortlessly steals the spotlight all over again, leaving a defeated Rudd completely frozen in shock. While touring the house, Josh took them to his secret room and pulls out a stash of drugs. Desperate to boost his energy and finally reclaim the spotlight. Rudd doesn't hesitate. He steps right up and snorts the whole stash. Cut to the party, and a completely wired Rudd is dancing aggressively like a maniac. Meanwhile, Mia is busy flirting with Marcus. Spotting them on the floor, an annoyed Rudd deliberately orders Marcus to go stand outside on the porch, desperate to keep him off the cameras. But the plan backfires completely. The moment Marcus steps outside, Josh approaches him with the entire camera crew and pulls him into a deep conversation, stealing Rudd's spotlight once again. Spotting Josh and Marcus together, a panicked Rudd sprints toward them, but he slips on the floor and crashes directly into Josh, accidentally knocking him off the edge of the patio where Josh begins to choke violently on his food. Before anyone else can react, Marcus springs into action. He performs an emergency tracheostomy right there on the spot. The trapped food flies out of Josh's throat, instantly saving his life. The entire crowd erupts into applause, hailing Marcus as an absolute hero. A stunned, drug-fueled Rudd stares in pure jealousy. Snapping completely, Rudd steps forward and exposes everything. He loudly reveals that Marcus is an escaped psychiatric patient. And to twist the knife, he drops the ultimate bomb. He never wrote those emails, his assistant, Mia, did. Heartbroken, Marcus opens up to the crowd, explaining how incredibly lonely he was and how he was genuinely just looking for his beloved big brother. Overwhelmed with pain, Marcus walks away into the night, leaving the entire party staring at Rudd in absolute disappointment. Back at home, Rudd is absolutely consumed by his own guilt. He finally sits down and starts reading the emails Marcus sent over the years. He reads every single one of them. Through the messages, Rudd discovers a heartbreaking truth. Marcus's mom, dad, and brother have all passed away. Realizing just how completely alone Marcus is in the world, an emotional Rudd breaks down in tears. Right then, his phone rings. It's the TV producers calling with a massive update. Thanks to the show's insane ratings, Rudd has actually won the Big Brother of the Year award. They tell him he has to be present at the upcoming live ceremony to collect his award. On the day of the ceremony, Rudd's own kids completely ignore him, disgusted by his actions. But the real surprise comes at the event itself. Since Marcus is a no-show, the producers don't want to ruin the live TV moment. They casually bring out a completely fake Marcus to stand in his place and pretend everything is fine for the cameras. Back at the ceremony, the presenters finally call Rudd on stage to accept his big award. But as he stands before the crowd, the overwhelming guilt gets the best of him. Mid-speech, Rudd officially rejects the trophy. He confesses everything to the live cameras, admitting his toxic jealousy of Marcus, his insecurity about being overshadowed by Josh, and how he ruthlessly destroyed Marcus's image just to make himself look good. Downstairs, a shocked Josh confronts Rudd, but instead of a fight, Josh drops a massive truth bomb. It turns out, Josh has always been deeply jealous of Rudd's beautiful wife and kids, something all of his billions could never buy. The two biological brothers apologize, share a heartfelt hug, and finally find mutual respect. Armed with a clear conscience, Rudd teams up with Mia to rescue Marcus from the hospital. After they arrived at the hospital, they find the front doors locked. Scales the outside of the building and breaks in through a window. He pours his heart out to Marcus, apologizing for his jealousy and proving he read every single email. The two Foster brothers share a deeply emotional reunion. Stepping outside into the fresh air, Mia finally confesses her true feelings to Marcus. Since they were already deeply bonded through years of typing, the spark between them instantly ignites into a full-blown romance, giving everyone a perfect, chaotic, happy ending.